Star Trek Legacy needs to be released on Good Old Games. And today, I'm going to show you exactly why. So recently, a lot of rumours have come out about a new Star Trek series called Legacy. And the video I made about 2 years ago on this game has blown up. I'm getting comments on it every single day. And unfortunately, this game is kind of unknown. Published by Bethesda back in 2006, the game had a couple of patches and then nothing. Now, thanks to modders, this game has continued to have somewhat of a life online. I am currently playing Ultimate Universe mod, which adds a ton of different ships into the game, and it just adds a load of features which makes this game absolutely amazing for a fan of the series. As you can see, when I say there's a lot of ships in this game, I'm not making that up. There are a ton in here, and they're all flyable, and they all have slightly different mechanics and stuff like that. As you can see here, we've got the NX-01, got the Nebula class, that's very fancy. One of my favourite looking ships is this, that is gorgeous. That of Birth looks really weird with a saucer section, and you've even got the movie Enterprise, which I could try and take out, I suppose. We could see what that's like. It's so funny. I love this. But as I was saying, unfortunately, this game is only available now through abandonware websites, because yes, this game is completely abandoned. There's nothing left. And in the last year or so, Good Old Games ended up releasing a ton of Star Trek games. Why hasn't this been included? I'm just gonna level this thing up as much as I can, give it as many upgrades. Oh, I'm being hit already. Okay, max power to weapons. Let's get out of here. Full impulse. Oh, look at this thing. It's absolutely gorgeous. Right. We've already taken down their shields, so that's positive. Let's fire off a few photons. And by a few, I mean every single bloody one. Let's put some more power up into shields and repair. This game is basically a combat simulator, and while not as in-depth as something like Bridge Commander, I honestly think it's well worth playing, and we have won. We need a bit more of a challenge, I guess. Oh, I love the design, especially with the 3 nacelles. That's really nice. And one of the really cool things about the Ultimate Universe mod, which I'll be leaving in the link in the description below, is the fact that you can go into a free cam mode and you can get those really nice shots of the ships like that. And I'll be using one of those for the thumbnail, most definitely. But look at this. As a fan of Star Trek, especially TNG, that's my favorite era, I adore this. It's just really nice, isn't it? Oh, look at it. So this game does also include a full single-player campaign. So if I was to jump into stock campaign and then start...
They've done some great work on it, Reggie. I hear they even managed to replace the grapplers with those new tractor beams.
We've made a lot of progress in the past years here, John, due in no small part to what you've accomplished out here. We've launched 5 Daedalus-class ships in the last 2 years alone. There actually is a fleet forming out there. It's not just a dream anymore. Starfleet is becoming a reality.
Pretty soon you won't need my little ship anymore.
So as you can hear, not only do you have Archer, you have Kirk, Picard, you have, I think Janeway is in this game as well as a load of voices taken from the show, including, I think, the last appearance from Sisko, because he hasn't done anything in a long time as Captain, which is really, really nice. Another thing to point out with these games is the fact that all of the games released in 2006, because Bethesda released a ton of Star Trek games. Star Trek Encounters on PS2, you had Armada on PS2 as well, which was like a strategy game. You had this, you had a PSP and DS game, which I highly recommend. They're great fun. All of them used this generic soundtrack, and I don't know why they never used the Star Trek music. They had this weird custom soundtrack that every single game used, which I just find completely baffling, but there you go. But as you can see, I really like the cutscenes. I think they look really nice. And you play through the different generations including, I think you even go up against the Stargazer at one point, which is really cool. So you get to play as Picard in that. Just really nice stuff in this game. So I'm not planning to play much of the story because a lot of my favorite parts of this game are playing through the battles. But you can, let's say, target different planets and stuff. You can do long-range sensors. You can hold down on planets and orbit the planet if you wanted to. But as you can see, it just is really nice. And as a fan of Star Trek, I think you'll get a lot of enjoyment out of this game that unfortunately just isn't really talked about anymore. And that sucks, because there is a lot to love here. I mean, look at that. That is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I'm a nerd. I know. But a lot of people watching this are also nerds. So you'll get enjoyment out of this too. But if people did want me to do a video on the story mode, I can do that. There was even a multiplayer mode. I don't think anyone's going to be online anymore. But yes, you could play against people. And this was also released on 360, not on PS3, sadly. Now, would I recommend the 360 version? Yes, I think you can definitely get enjoyment out of it if you want to play through the story. But a lot of the really nice stuff was added by the Ultimate Universe mod. And as I said before, I'll be leaving a link to all of the stuff in the description. But Good Old Games really needs to get their hands on this. I honestly believe that this would sell really well, not only due to the new rumours about a new show, but also due to the fact that it's just a fun Star Trek game. Now, of course, is it up there with stuff like Bridge Commander? I don't think so, but I think that it is definitely an enjoyable experience, especially if you've never played it before. So let's say we wanted to do the Enterprise battle versus the Sisters in Generations. We can do that, and I can play as either the Enterprise, or I could even play as the Sisters themselves. So we're going to jump in as the Enterprise D. Now, of course, at the end of this battle, the Enterprise doesn't fare too well, and they have to eject the warp core, from what I remember. Yes, so that's a thing. But in this, we can change history, so we could defeat them. Or we could play as the Sisters and defeat the Enterprise. There's all these different cool little things you can do with the historical battle system, and I really like that. So right now we could get behind and aim, wait for the red reticule to close, and wait for it. I think I'm a little bit far away. I'm going to bring down the speed a little bit. Quarter impulse. Make sure everything's healing up as it can go. Look how small that thing is compared to the Enterprise. It's ridiculously tiny. We do have a full bank of photons, so we're just going to try and aim up a little bit better right now, because unfortunately... There! Right, fire. And as you can see, take down the shields first, then hit them with photons. And that definitely does the job. Oh, that's so cool. Right, and then we're going to turn around a little bit here. Aim up, fire. And that is going to do a lot of damage there. Now, you can also target subsystems. I've forgotten how to do that. You can do it, though. You can literally take out their engines or their weapon systems or their sensors, and that actually has an effect in battle. And that is absolutely amazing. But as you can see, this is a great game. I highly, highly recommend it. If you've never played Star Trek Legacy before, you need to. It's great. But as you can see, this game is amazing. Yeah. Anyway, tell me what you think. Comment down below. Send this to GOG. Tell Good Old Games you need this game on your service. Honestly, this game has been abandoned, and I feel really bad about it. Also, comment if you want to see some of the story. We can do that as well. But until next time, that's me out. Bye, guys.